that has captured the national imagination. His pain, the man in the center of your screens, will haunt us forever. Atul Subhash committed suicide. The news may never have broken had it not been for Atul's 81-minute video log in which he read from his 24-page suicide note. All through his deposition, he wore a plaque with, quote, "Justice is due," unquote, written on it. Subhash incriminated his estranged wife. Subhash told us that he hailed from Uttar Pradesh and got married to Nikita, a software professional, in 2019. They later separated, but the separation wasn't a clean one. His estranged wife and her parents slapped 9 cases under several charges, including murder, dowry, harassment, unnatural sex, etc. against him and his parents. Atul says his in-laws used IPC 498A to blackmail him and then to demand rupees 3 crore to withdraw the cases under the draconian section, plus rupees 30 lakh for visitation rights to see his son. The video went viral, and the support for Atul has meant that his family felt emboldened enough to lodge a police complaint against their in-laws for their alleged relentless harassment that pushed Subhash over the edge. The estranged wife's family has, of course, denied the allegations. Atul's charges, viewers, are now very well known. And he claims that the money that was being asked, he could not afford to pay. The family has countered. The estranged wife's family has countered the charges, saying false charges leveled to damage our reputation. The matter now, obviously, viewers, is also falling into not just the public domain, but also, viewers, the police has registered cases against the wife, the estranged wife, and her family. The case, attention, viewers, the total attention that has come onto this case has also sparked a debate on a law that is supposedly open to misuse. Section 498A states, and this is what it states, viewers: husband or relatives of a husband who subject a woman to cruelty shall be punished with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 years and liable to fine, unquote. The law, once applied, often stigmatizes the man. The court, in any case, have not been sympathetic to men who have sought relief in cases of marital disputes. And there are several examples of this. The Kerala High Court, when a man complained that his wife allegedly indulged in adultery, as admitted by her in court, and he claimed compensation for mental agony caused in the marriage, the family court grants compensation, but the Kerala High Court overturns the decision. Says modern laws reject the notion of one spouse owning the other's loyalty, which was often the basis for damage claims, unquote. The Allahabad High Court, on another date, said husband seeks divorce claiming cruelty. Husband says not willing to live with wife. Wife says willing to live with husband. Court rejects divorce petition. Says wife has pointed out that she is willing to live with her husband, whereas the appellant husband has not proved the instances of cruelty, unquote. And there are several others where the man's plea has fallen on deaf ears, viewers. And this has happened time after time, especially in maintenance cases where the couple are going through a problem. Merely because the wife is capable of earning at one time, viewers, is not a sufficient reason to reduce the maintenance awarded by the family court. This has also been said in a case recently. While these cases don't specifically fall under the ambit of 498A, the Supreme Court has recognized that it has become a weapon in the hands of married women. And the Supreme Court has said there's been a notable rise in matrimonial disputes via Section 498A, growing tendency to misuse provisions of Section 498A, Section 498A becoming a tool for unleashing vendetta, used to seek compliance with unreasonable demands. And the fundamental question are, viewers, tonight, and this case brings us to ask those questions: are courts succumbing to virtue signaling by not providing relief to men in cases of marital discord? Let's ask those questions. Let's go straight across to our panel. Vikas Modi, the brother of the deceased Atul Subhash, is going to be with us, and he's there. Advaita Kala, columnist, Barka Threyan, men's rights activist. But before that, let me just quickly bring in Mr. Vikas Modi. Thank you, Mr. Vikas Modi. I don't know what to say, apart from, of course, condole with you on your untimely loss. This is probably very, very difficult for you to do tonight. But thank you for joining us. आप बताइए कि ये जो पूरा डिस्कॉर्ड हुआ है उसमें प्रॉब्लम क्या थी विकास साहब?
सर शादी.com के थ्रू शादी हुई थी और फैमिली जो मिली थी वो 2019 में मिली थी जनवरी में, और शादी जो हुई थी वो अप्रैल 2019 में हुई थी शादी। आप प्रॉब्लम जो शुरू हुई थी ये शुरू ही नहीं हुई थी, पता नहीं कैसे क्या हुआ क्या नहीं हुआ, ये तो मुझे नहीं पता कि कैसे इन लोगों ने ये सारी चीजें करने की कोशिश की। सारी डिवोर्स फाइल हुआ, मतलब बहुत बड़ा कुछ ऐसा रीजन तो था नहीं, बट जिसको बहुत बड़ा अपने उसमें चार्जशीट में और उस सारी चीजों में वो आप कोर्ट के केसेस जब देखेंगे तो उसमें पता चलेगा। मुझे एग्जैक्ट तो पता नहीं है कि क्या उन्होंने लिखा हुआ है, मैंने अभी केसेस के डॉक्यूमेंट्स स्टडी नहीं किए बिकॉज वो मेरा भाई ही हैंडल कर रहा था सब कुछ।
बहुत सैड सिचुएशन, वेरी सैड. Barkat Rehan, what do you make of this? Our courts are coming to virtue signaling. I mean, there is this entire bunch of people who are blaming the judge. I don't want to go there because I don't have the proof, but the victim himself blamed the judge, that the judge was being obstruse. Our courts are coming to virtue signaling by not providing relief to men in cases of marital discord.
Absolutely. I really am very shattered. The heartbreaking suicide of Atul Subash has shed light on very dark and overlooked struggles of men. Like, this is not the first case. There are lakhs of men who are dying. Atul Subhash is not the only case. But since this video went very viral, we all are discussing this today. The NCRB data says that husband suicided 3 times more. 3 times more, and still we are in deep slumbers. I have met all the law ministers and told them the ground reality, that men are suffering like anything. They have no say. They are just they have just failed. The system has failed them, because even if they want to say, nobody is there to listen to them. There is no counseling. There is no helpline number where they can call and record their grievances or whatever it is. They are just on barren land. They are forgotten gender. So we don't even think that men are human. The problem is this, and that is why all the politicians are busy. They are deaf ears. Even the judiciary, despite pointing out so many times, judiciary has time and again said 498A is legal terrorism, because 95% of the cases are false. Judiciary has pointed out, but they have done nothing. Again, recently judiciary said, the court said that 498A is misused, and we need to rethink about it. They have done nothing. Now, last 10 days back, they said, the judiciary came up, the Supreme Court came up with this, that the rape cases, the false rape cases which are coming, that is a very worrying trend.
Yes.
So these are the statements often on given by judiciary. But what is on the ground? See what Atul Subhash said, justice is due. He said the system has failed. The system needs, I say, the system needs overhauling.
Okay.
Again, the women who file false cases should be the women who file false cases should be also hanged till death.
Okay, well,
because
viewers,
the false accuser is ruining the whole family.
These are allegations, even though one has to be in this particular matter moved by the pain that is being expressed by Atul, but the fact is these are allegations, and neither should we dox the woman concerned, and neither should we publicize her name, etc., because it will lead to a backlash and will presume her guilty before
Rahul,
anyone presides over her innocence. But one second, it's you made a point. I understand.
Just let me complete this. Let me clarify this. Just I wanted to clarify that I said hang the false accuser when the court comes to know that she has filed a false case.
There are according to the victim, there were many people who were part of this. So, Ranjana Kumari, I have to ask you this question.
I'm not talking particularly about this.
Fair enough. Okay, let's keep it general. Fair enough. Let me ask you, Ms. Ranjana Kumari, and there's a problem here. Clearly, even the Supreme Court is expressing it. What prevents the Supreme Court from coming in? Do you think an intervention is needed?
Well, Rahul, I've joined the program because normally your debates are very balanced, and I don't think we should villainize the woman
Yeah.
who is living with a small 4 year old boy whose alimony has not been paid to her, and all these allegations needs to be legitimacy of them and how veracity should be checked. So these complaints are subject to investigation. Let's put it there. Now, other thing is that till we know that there were 9 cases, and the cases were of since separation. It was custody of the child, it was alimony, it was like it's a bouquet of cases that lawyers suggest to any woman, any family whose daughter or
Yeah.
sister is going through all this. They will get a bouquet of cases and then they will proceed to the court. Now here the bigger point here is that when he in his society, I have total this thing, I really share the pain of the family, because this is something young man they lost, and this is most unfortunate. But look at the allegations are talking about harassment by the court. 120 times visit to the court, 40 times he personally had to go. Why?
Yeah.
He had a lawyer to look after. Then also he's talking about judicial corruption. He's talking about family courts not functioning in the legal manner. He's also saying that mental health issue was there, which nobody is in the discussion, bringing the whole idea of, why did they go to in these shadi.coms and all these things. They don't look after these issues, that if somebody is suffering from some kind of a mental health and family is pushing the person into marriage, then what will it happen? Say a bipolar, say somebody who has schizophrenia.
We don't know what the issue
We don't
was.
know. That's what I'm just
Such a
giving an
bright
example.
person,
So,
please,
so
please
what
No,
can
one
I say
second,
is
let's
that-
not speak over each other, please.
Don't say this.
Okay.
Such
I
a
think
bright
Let's not speak over
student,
each other. One
such
second.
a bright person, an
Okay,
AI
okay,
engineer,
Barkat Rehan,
an
please.
artificial intelligence
Yeah,
engineer.
let her finish. Let her finish. Let her finish. Let her make her point. We
Okay,
can come
so
back and rebut. Yes.
I just want to
Yeah.
want to say that if this was not the dowry law per se, which
Yeah.
there is general perception about that, because if you have 6,000 women in 2022 dying, reported
Okay,
to
so you
Parliament,
believe that-
think, 1 minute, 13,500 women who are being harassed and complain. I think, why don't men go and say my wife is beating me, or
Okay.
why do they
So you're
emasculate
saying
about-
from
why
one case,
they-
don't
Yeah,
throw,
I'll give you
don't
Yes.
throw the law out of the window. Okay, one second. Advaita
Yes,
Kala, where do you
yes.
come in on this?
Well, first of all, I mean, my condolences to Vikasji. I think it's very brave of him to face a debate on a topic that is so personally devastating. So really, my condolences to him and his family and his mother, who's just absolutely devastated, and it breaks one's heart to have to see her go through that with a young son. I think, the default setting, I think, for all of us, Rahul, is of course to listen to women too, because we come from a society where we have seen a lot of oppression when it comes to women. But what is inarguable, and it pains me to say this, because this means that women who are still oppressed, still victimized in our country, are now going to be doubted because some people use this with the cooperation of crooked lawyers. They use sections that are meant to protect women to abuse men. And this is something that we have to recognize and acknowledge.
Yeah.
And I think the problem with this debate very often becomes is that it takes on this identity politics shade, with the where you're either for women
Or
or you're
against.
for men. And the worst thing we can do when there is such human tragedy involved is to get caught up in these ideologies. I think it's extremely important that we recognize the suffering of this young man who erased himself.
Well, that's why
And he's a
Advaita
victim
Kela, that's why.
and also the judicial system.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's
Also
the thing. That's
judicial
the reason
system.
why
So
I've
there is
kept
that
my
personal
questions
issue
focused
which-
on the system, which perhaps needs some attending to. Now, viewers, we can have that debate also on what requires to be fixed and how much of it requires to be fixed. But it was a good initiation into a conversation. There is a recognition that the law perhaps is a bit infirm. I'll leave it at this, viewers. Palki Sharma up with the Vantage next.